If you're a sports fan, make sure you go check out SportsCastr for all of your sports news. Whether you are a Patriots fan or not, this is the perfect way to meet all of your sports needs and is a platform I personally use myself in case any of you guys want to catch me live talking about training camp recaps, etc. I'll leave a link in the description below.
What is up, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and the New England Patriots have made a couple of different transactions today. I'm going to make separate videos on those transactions, but here's what the first one. The New England Patriots have released safety Obi Melifonwu, and this is one that is going to really take L's in my comments. A lot of people are going to be upset about that. He was a surprise make to the 53-man roster. Personally, I didn't have him making it. I like Obi Melifonwu. I really do. So I was happy to see him there, as were a lot of you, but at this point, it doesn't really matter because the Patriots did release him. This move comes about because the Patriots did have to release somebody in order to bring Antonio Brown to the team. Of course, the Patriots had a full 53-man roster, and to bring another guy on, they were going to have to release somebody. Due to the fact that I had Obi Melifonwu not actually making the Patriots' original roster, when he actually was on the roster, to me it was kind of like, how much are they actually going to use him? Then he went inactive for the Patriots' Week 1 game against the Steelers, and to me that was a bit of an indication as, look, if the Patriots ever do want to trade for a guy or they do need to sign somebody, then it could be that Obi Melifonwu would be one of those guys who could be on their way out, and that's exactly what happened. And really, it doesn't affect the Patriots all too much. The only thing this does, it really releases them an opportunity to add some depth to the safety and defensive back position. But the Patriots already do have a lot of that. Again, Patrick Chung, Devin McCourty, Duron Harmon. You also have Terrence Brooks, who is a very key special teamer, but is also really good at the safety position. And the Patriots are using a lot in their defensive schemes, and we actually saw a little bit of that this past game. Not to mention that Terrence Brooks is not an injury-prone guy. Obi Melifonwu has been plagued by injuries, more specifically when he was with the Raiders, and ultimately that's what led to them cutting the former second-round pick. Again, at that point, Obi Melifonwu was kind of just a guy who was serving as a depth purpose because the guys in your secondary, when it comes to these safeties, again, even before someone like Terrence Brooks, they're going to put Devin McCourty, Patrick Chung. You can kind of make the argument with Duron Harmon. In all honesty, it's going to be what defensive package they're running, zone, man, blitz, how far it is, whether it's, let's say a third and long or a third and short. But really, at that point, where does Obi Melifonwu even come in? He's just 25 years old, so he is still a young guy. He has a lot of time to continue throughout the NFL. A team is definitely going to sign him. Now, if the Patriots do get lucky enough for Obi Melifonwu to really slip through the cracks somehow, he will be able to be reverted to the practice squad. And of course, that is really your best case scenario, having Obi Melifonwu on that practice squad and being able to bring him up to the actual 53-man roster if injuries do end up occurring, but still having him on the actual team. Again, to me, I would be a bit surprised if they were actually lucky enough to pull this off. You have guys like Brian Flores in the league, former Patriots linebacker / defensive coordinator, and he's head coach for the Miami Dolphins. Okay, the Miami Dolphins just got obliterated by the Baltimore Ravens. There's really no great points in that Dolphins team because they're rebuilding. A lot of guys went out of Miami because of that fact. So, because of the familiarity between Brian Flores and someone like Obi Melifonwu, to me, it wouldn't be surprised to see Obi get that destination call from Brian Flores. Obi was a guy that when the Raiders released, I believe it was in the beginning / the middle of last season, the Patriots decided to bring him for a workout and then ultimately signed him. They signed him to a 2-year deal, and basically what that was that they had him for the rest of that season, but then they were also able to keep him going into training camp, OTAs, minicamp, basically just their off-season workouts, and then would have him for this entire season if they wished to do so. Now, Obi Melifonwu throughout the Patriots training camp was doing really, really well. In fact, he led the team in interceptions by the end of training camp. He was really good at grabbing those pass deflections from guys like Duron Harmon, but more specifically Terrence Brooks. He really was a name that we heard a lot, especially when it came to defensive players and the guys that were just out there making plays for the defense. We get to the preseason games, though, and I'm really not seeing Obi Melifonwu. I saw him a little bit at first, but for the most part, we just did not see Obi Melifonwu. And for most part, that's an indication that you're going to make the team. And of course, he did, but after the week 1 game that he was inactive for, he's getting cut. So I know that this is going to upset a lot of Patriots fans, but at the same point, guys, what you do have to understand is the fact that if he really wasn't playing in the preseason, he went inactive for our first game, and then he, got cut by Bill Belichick, maybe we were hyping him up a little too much. Now, of course, best case scenario is we get him back on the practice squad. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on the Patriots releasing safety Obi Melifonwu? Let me know in the comments below. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I make sure to get Patriots videos out as soon as they drop for the most part, except for the Antonio Brown video. I was a little late on that one. But for the most part, I'm really good at getting all the news out and at a very good time. If you guys would like to grab some Patriots Global merch, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody else who know the Patriots Global family. That seriously helps me out a lot. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.